Okay, recording this video after close of trade Monday, 22nd of August 2011. Well, really interesting 24 hours. We had the market kind of open up on Sunday and rally 40 points into Monday's open. And then Monday's open, everybody, all the professionals kind of took profits. I think all the amateurs were kind of jumping in at that point with the gap open, and the professionals just spent the whole day kind of pushing it down. And the question is now, we're sitting on this absolute knife edge, closed at 1124, at this kind of cyclical support area, whether we're going to just drop through. At 1100, seriously important round number there. It's got to be a whole bunch of stops, and the professionals got to be thinking about those and thinking, let's go run those. 2.2 million contracts traded. I think overall the chances of us breaking through this support level have now gone up. So let's kind of wait and see what happens overnight into Tuesday's activity. On the 135-minute chart here, you can see we didn't have end of trend with today's activity go off. I mean, we're very close to it on this time frame. So we've had our exhaustion selling. We're coming down and make a flush pattern here with this cyclical cross end of trends kind of lining up. But we're just so close here. I just wonder, did it seem like there was a lot of kind of professionals stepping in at the end of the day and kind of picking this up? I didn't feel as if it was very convincing. On better X trend, same thing. We've not had one of those exhaustion kind of selling bars in order to trail the stop down. So on this chart, we're still on a downtrend. Same with the trend oscillator charts. Just look at the higher kind of time frame charts here. So the 40,500 tip bar chart. So here was Sunday's activity, pullback to end of trend, blue professional bars. Professionals kind of coming in here because it's the end of the week, kind of closing out positions. That's why there's an unusual amount of kind of professional activity here. And today's activity, we bounced from there, Rambo pattern with Sunday nights kind of open, bounced into a cyclical resistance level here, and we kind of back down. We'd like to make cyclical supports, not been made quite yet. Kind of blue professional bars kind of coming in at the end of the day. Again, for one of these patterns, I mean, all the exhaustion selling happened right here at the beginning of this move. So for this move to actually kind of end up properly in terms of a better sine wave and momentum, we should have seen exhaustion selling on this peak here, on this kind of shoulder, and then be making bullish divergence patterns kind of all the way through. So I'm not sure. It's not convincing on this time frame. If I go down to the 13,500 tip bar chart with this last kind of pushback that we have, so this was today's open, Sunday evenings open, Monday mornings open here. We had a lot of kind of selling going on here. This pushback back into the mid-30s was exhaustion buying, and that's as much as we could do with that amount of buying. We're kind of back down at the lows. And then 4,500 tip bar chart, you can see this one, we kind of bounced off this exhaustion selling Friday's close, end of trend, and that was into the Monday's open, all these blue professional bars. I mean, we actually had on the lower time frames a beautiful sequence. We had end of trend on the 1500 and the 500 tip bar chart. I went short right at the open at 44.75. Didn't trade it particularly well because I did it in two chunks, two-point chunks, and of course the thing just didn't stop from the open. But then here, so on the 4,500 tip bar chart, we've got some kind of professional activity kind of coming in with exhaustion selling and so on. But I just think we're so close to this 1100 level. I think we're going to have a run for it. For me, there's not been enough, exhaustion selling on the downside. We had exhaustion buying up here. Hardly broke. We just bounced off a support level that became resistance and came all the way down. Rambo patterns kind of down here. We break back up. Professionals getting short around here. Exhaustion buying Rambo, so the amateurs kind of trying to get long at this point, and we kind of break back down again. So all of a sudden now, after these two exhaustion buying kind of areas here, we've had exhaustion selling into the close, which is kind of closing out positions rather than shutting the move down and all the sellers having sold, I'd say. So so I'm leaning now. On Friday was 50-50 whether we'll break up, break down. Now I'm kind of leaning towards breakdown. I think we're just going to fall at this ledge and maybe keep on going. Just to show you some of the signals on the 15 and 500 tip bar chart. So coming into the opens, this was close on Friday, open on the Sunday evening. Run into this pattern on the 1500 tip bar chart, exhaustion buying into this move here, bearish divergence right here at the top. So professionals kind of come back in again, pull back to end of trend right on the open of the day, bang, just sold off. Beautiful. And this thing kind of signaled this was the right kind of end of trend. I mean, for me to play a move from 45 down to 20 is just pure fantasy. But signal-wise, this end of trend didn't have exhaustion selling around it. But this one did. You can see all the blue professional bars kind of coming in. There's the exhaustion selling kind of after that second cyclical turn, bang, and we bounce from there. And we bounce into these kind of Rambo patterns and exhaustion buying. Just haven't done enough damage on the downside, and then we kind of come into the lows. But so nicely signal with end of trend beginning at the end of the move. And on the 500 tip bar chart, this was the move into the open end of trend. It was actually kind of the second in a row. We'd had one here, and we kind of punched through. So when we had one on the 515, it felt really uncomfortable taking that trade, going short right at the open, but worked out well. And then on the 500 tip bar chart, the end of trends were just beautiful, kind of showing here, and we bounce from here, another end of trend on the way down as we head down. Next one we see, bang, up here, then heading into a retracement back to another one here, and then we kind of bounce, another one here, bounce from there, second one here, get a little bit lower than that, and then we kind of so I mean a lot of these were good, a lot of these end of trends. And when you combine the end of trends with trends moves on for confirmation on higher time frames, they're good signals. Anyway, so that's video today. I'm going to put on a sequence where I was getting short at 37.25 because I was talking about how important that level was for a breakdown here and here. And just this was the point at which the professionals, if we were going to have an up day, this was the time to do it, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't push it through. And so in the video I'm just talking about at 37 here in real time, saying it's like this is the make or break level. And I took 3 points on the way down here, and then when this thing collapsed, another blue professional bar kind of came in, and we collapsed really quickly. I got short at 34 and took out 5 points on the way down in this move here, and that was critical level of the day, 37, and that's where we kind of turned around into a downtrend. So still kind of keeping my options open in terms of, if we do break to the upside, I won't be surprised, but I think the odds that we'll break, kind of the 20s and then head towards 1100 and see some fireworks down there, I think the odds of that happening have kind of gone up today. So hope you traded well, and looking forward to Tuesday. I've just gone short 37.25 and just checking my stops and targets here. It's a real make or break level today. So the professionals gapped it up overnight. So from Sunday evening we had this 40-point rally into the open on Monday, and we sold off, and now we've come back in and found exhaustion buying on the 4500 tip bar chart. And here we're in a downtrend on the 1500 tip bar chart, having maxed out at the open here at a pullback level, pullback and a downtrend after we've had exhaustion buying and bearish divergence. We're just kind of rolling over here. And it's also an end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart. We just had this nice little rally, nicely marked, bullish divergence, end of trend down here. Come all the way back to end of trend in this last sequence here, a whole bunch of blue fractional bars kind of coming in. Now, were they buying a jumping the creek here, or just getting short right this kind of final opportunity like the last roll of the dice? But what was interesting was the buying up here was actually really weak. So I'm just wondering if this is just going to roll over. Certainly going my way at the moment. And then this thing puts in a really, if it starts to break below these lows, then there'll be quite a lot of people quite scared. So it's a real make or break level right here. So worth a little bit of a punt. So just short from 37.25. Alright, bingo. Here's, well, I thought just then we were breaking into a downtrend. Strong move down into 35s, broke below cyclical support on the 500 tip bar chart. We were just hanging around here at 37, markets trying to decide which way to go. Real kind of indecision at that point. If we come back up and head towards 38, that's not a good sign, because that'll just be a spike down, just kind of freaking people out, just like me.
and we might break into an uptrend here, but let's see if we kind of keep on going below 35, everybody will jump on board or need to jump on board. Bloody hell, I mean, getting close. We were just within a quarter point of the target at 33.25. Just finding a little bit of support here. We had a little bit of a flush pattern, but it's not a proper flush pattern right here. Each time we've rallied, so amateur up bar, we kind of broke it, you know, kind of getting the lows, blue professional bar, kind of step in, break it to the lows. Now amateur up bar, kind of come back down, break to the lows, just be taken out kind of down here. Let's go 33.25. Okay, just came out 34.25. Just couldn't quite hold it through my target there, so out for 3. That's not bad. On this move down, I think there's still a downtrend kind of in place here. But cyclical support came in on the 1500 tip bar chart, and I think we're at a real kind of cross. Just watching it, real kind of turning point here. Whether this 1500 level kind of holds, and we kind of double bottom and kind of head to new highs, or we actually just totally collapse. So it'll be interesting to see where it ends up at the end of the day. Rainbow pattern just came in on the 1500 tip bar chart here, just showing the amateurs maybe guessing that it'll kind of keep going down. We'll see. Okay, just gone short 34 even. That is absolutely lousy entry, but I think we just had a final push up. I'm just checking my stops and targets now. The last push up after we bounced off these Rambo patterns. Here we go. Okay, I'm just moving my target to 28. Professional blue bars came into 37 here, and here on the 1500 tip bar chart we've just crashed through support on the 1500 tip bar chart. On the 4500 tip bar chart we've kind of bounced off support. Support becomes resistance, blue professional bar kind of going down. So this is the move that could be you know, game changer for today, where we end up being a really bad kind of down day. It's just short from 34 even. Okay, heading back down, just had we got caught exhaustion selling on the 500 tip bar chart, put in a bullish divergence pattern here and just kind of got caught slightly. Amateur up bars, 2 of them here, were kind of breaking the lows, so I'd have thought rather than this being a double bottom, no blue professional bars yet on the 1500 tip bar chart. Hopefully we'll get another kind of flush move down. Targets at 28, came out at 29 even. 4-5, which is pretty good. Happy with that. The reason I'm getting out, actually this blue professional bar's kind of just come in, but we had this one here on this kind of spike down. Well, there we go. 28 just got hit. I'm happy. The reason for getting out here, this is this kind of little flush move down here, so exhaustion selling. These kind of line up, the bullish divergence patterns kind of line up, and we get a final little kind of push down. So all the blue professional bars kind of coming on the 500 tip bar chart. Surprised we're not seeing anything on the 15, but there we go, bang. There's the flush signal. So on the 500 tip bar chart, flush signal comes in, blue professional bars kind of hold it here. So I think this is going to trap this move, you know, momentarily. The question is this really a game changer today? And we're just going to be testing 1100 on the way down. It's not been a good day so far for the bulls. So anyway, let's see. Be interested in how to see how this ends up for the rest of the day. Hope you traded well.